go to the dump, thinking, and this is gonna take some commitment because what I wanna do is put plant pots in our deck box because anything I can get out of this basement is a good thing. Once you put all the summer chairs and all the things in there, dang, it gets full. So I would love to put plant pots and gardening stuff, whatever will fit in there. I gotta trudge through some snow to get to the deck because I would go through our 3-season porch, but my daughter Crecia has made that her bedroom and she is asleep. So I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna bring it all upstairs, and then once I get it all upstairs, then I'll start trudging it through the snow to the deck. Like I said, it's gonna take some commitment, but I'm gonna do it. It's like 20 something degrees Fahrenheit outside too, by the way. I got my nice heavy sweatshirt on. Also glad I don't mind the furnace, that's what you hear. This always, either the furnace is loud or the bathroom fan is loud. I would like to take these out. I don't really like having those in the house. Pretty shears. A cat toy. That's got Leo written all over it. Do you remember I said if we didn't get these planted, we were getting rid of them? Tulip bulbs. We didn't get them planted. You know what? Maybe this. So maybe I will take this out. Here's an idea. Just kind of empty it into that thing, and then I would have this box. I think there's like chemicals in here. I'm not going to take the chemicals out there, but I will take this potting soil. See, these are in bags, so I'm not really worried about them getting wet. This is to use for ant killer outside, and that can go outside.
There wasn't as much in here as I thought there was, so that was kind of surprising. And I'm sure once spring hits, I will be able to put more things in there, maybe some things that like the bocce ball set, that sort of thing. So we'll have to see. There's an 80% chance we're getting a shed this spring.
Of course, now the furnace shuts off, now that I'm going upstairs.
You know, I could have said I don't have much to bring out there. Why don't I just wait until spring? But I really feel like when you're decluttering and organizing and micro-organizing, because organizing has its own onion layers too, I feel like every little thing you can do counts and it all adds up. So even though I could have just waited, I opted no. It's just an easier job. It's not going to take as long. So there's actually more reason to do it instead of less. So there's my little haul that's going out to the deck box. See right here, it looks like I have a path. And it looks real good going over to the trash. I have at least partially bare ground icy path, but then we get here. But I think the snow is probably crusty enough that even though I don't even have boots on, I feel like we're going to be okay. I'm using my tripod as a cane, as a walking stick. So here's where our deck box is, but no steps here. I can put the stuff up here though, and then come up on the deck. So we gotta walk all the way over here. Not fall. This is why it's good I've had knee healing, because if you got bad knees, you don't want to be walking on crusty snow. I'll put the camera up there. Okay, now I'm sinking. Oh my goodness. It's a good thing I have company. I got you guys with me. And this, you can see where the septic tank goes. So that's where the septic tank is. But this is where, you know, the path. And so it melts the snow and the birds are loving it. I don't know why we have so many birds this year, but we have a lot of birds that stayed. Now my job is to not fall. Okay, here we go. I lived. Now let's set the camera up. thing is huge. It is such a blessing. Oh, put that upside down. I can also lock this so that I don't have to worry about, and I have the padlock, so I don't have to worry about kids getting into it if I put tools in here.
Alright, hello there. We are going to make another recipe here at the Twombly house. And this is a dip that you can use for whether you want to use it for corn chips or whether you want to use it for potato chips or other things. This is chili cheese dip. Very simple recipe. This isn't hard. Let me show you what's in it. So you have cream cheese. We need 1 block of cream cheese. We need 1 can of chili. Now, obviously, the best thing you can do is make your own chili. But in this case, I'm going to use a can of chili. We've done chili at other points. We've shown you us making it ourselves. I did a Cincinnati chili a couple of weeks ago. That was really good. That would be perfect for this too. But I'm going to use this particular brand of chili. Now this one has no beans. If you wanted beans in it, then you obviously just buy one that has beans, or you can add beans as a second part of it. So the other thing you want is a can of green chilies, and then you also want some form of shredded cheese. So I'm using some various cheeses that we have left over, which is even better. That way we're not wasting any of the cheese that we have. The last thing is, and some people really like this, I'm going to see how it works on some of this. This is called Tajin. It is a, Tajin, that's how you pronounce it. This is a chili lime seasoning that you just sprinkle over things. If you like the flavor of lemon or lime, like a salt-ish, this is really good that way, and you can put it on things and it just adds a little bit more flavor to what you have. So, like I said, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is take this block of cream cheese and open that up with my man hands. Manhandle that. You know what? Let me give me 1 minute here. And in this particular case, because I'm going to need to do some some work, you need to spread out this cream cheese over the bottom of the dish. So probably the best size pan is really like a 9x9 or something that's square. It depends though. It's just whether you want to have this dip thick or whether you want it to have thin, whether the dish you have is deep or not. But obviously if you have a pan like I have, this is 9x17, you're going to spend a little bit more time spreading things out because it's going to be a thinner layering of the dish itself. So this block of cream cheese is still fairly cold, so it's going to take me a second to get it all open, but it should come out of here pretty easily and work itself over the dish. So if you take that out. Now in my case, I'm going to work this in half, like that, and then I'm going to work it in half again. That'll just get it into different places, and I'm going to put these 4 different pieces down. This will make it a little bit easier for me to spread it almost like peanut butter. So I'm going to take 1 glove off while I do this. The other one I'm still going to have out, but now I can kind of work this around and spread it on the bottom of this pan. So, like I said, this pan's kind of big for this, so I might have to break into a little bit more cream cheese if I want to go and get all of this laid out really well. So I might need a little bit more to spread this over the length of this dish, and it probably looks like, to do this correctly, I will need 1 more block to do this. So, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna work this block in here. Spreads pretty easily. I mean, it's kind of like spreading you would on a bagel, right? Nothing too difficult here. All right, so a little bit more cream cheese here. I am not going to go crazy with it, so I'll take just some of this. I'm going to save this extra cream cheese for a moment. Set this over here. Put that one down. All right, so now I can continue with the mashing of this. I'm sure this looks wonderful. You're going, what is he doing? He's a barbarian. Again, in this particular pan, this is going to be a very thin layer of cream cheese that you're laying down on this. Okay, so that was 1.5 blocks of the cream cheese that we laid down. Okay, now after you do the cream cheese, this is when you start with the green chilies. So you do drain these. So I drained off the excess juice. Now I'm just putting the can of green chilies into and over the cream cheese. Now the next thing I'm going to do is open up this can of chili as well. And just after I get this done, I am going to put my oven on 400. Alright, so the oven's on 400, it's warming up. I now can get back to what I was doing here just a minute ago. I'll clean some of this off, and then I'll move these green chilies around. Alright, so we move these around, put that in place. This has got one big chili in there, and that's not something I don't think people would want. Alright, kind of like them chopped up smaller. And Alright, so the green chilies are spread out. I'll show you that so you can see. I'm going to spread them over. Alright, now the chili itself. Again, this is a can of chili. So you're going to pour this out, spread it out, just in the same way, right? Like I said, the best thing to do, obviously, is if you can, and you have maybe leftovers, or if you have made it for some reason, if you made chili for dinner and there's leftovers, that's everything, it's great if you have some, or even when you do make it, make a little bit extra, because you know you can save some of it for the dip that you're going to use for a party or a get-together. So now that that is in, we'll go ahead and spread that over. That put over the whole thing. Now remember, this is not a bean chili, but it could be if you want to. And you can take beans and put it over it. So what I'm going to do, I made some homemade beans not too long ago. So I'm going to take those extra beans. I'm going to clean this off real quick. Let's make it a little bit neater. So I'm going to take these extra beans and I'm going to put it on one side of this. Okay. These are pinto beans that I made that you can use for refried beans. You can use them for breakfast, lunch. You can put them on. You can put them in burritos. You can put them in tacos. It's really good general pinto bean recipe. It's not a sweet bean. It is a savory bean, but it does have a little bit of pork flavor that was put in it when we use a little bit of bacon with the beans that we make. So there, that part I'm going to do. So if you look, I'll try to do this the best I can. If you look now, part of this has beans, the other one doesn't, just has the chili. Now we come to the cheese. Again, this is a good chance if you've got extra bags of cheese laying around and they're all going to work together. This is Colby Jack. This is a Mexican cheese blend. This is a mozzarella. So if you have extra bags around, this is a great way to kind of combine them to make this dip. So you spread it over the top of this. Good amount of cheese that you're talking about. And again, this kind of is up to you. If you like something that's really cheesy, okay, then you can layer this amount of cheese that you want yourself. How much you're going to put in there, okay? I would say you certainly want, at the very least, to cover the chili or the beans if you put those in, okay, so that they're not too visible, okay? They might be visible, but not very visible in it. That's a good way to plan your layering, is like, I don't want so much cheese that it's like 4 inches thick, but I want enough cheese that it is actually cheesy, because that's part of what this is. This is a chili cheese dip. So just make it so that you can see, like I can see a little bit of what's left of the chili. So this is it. And this is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven on 400 for 30 minutes. When that's done, we're going to bring it out. We'll let it cool a little bit, and then we're going to use some chips. We also have some corn chips that we use as well. It's really good stuff. Also, like I said, and this is up to you, you can add this Tajin. This is a chili lime salt type of thing. You can add this now if somebody wanted to. You could add it to one side if you wanted to. You can also add it later. This is like similar to the way somebody uses maybe a mixture of salt, pepper, and garlic. But you can put it on things, and it has, like I said, it has a chili lime flavor. I thought it was pretty good, particularly if you like the flavor of lemon and lime. It has a good, solid taste profile for that. All right, thank you. I'm going to stick this in the oven, and we will come back when it's done. Sometimes you get interrupted when you're doing work, or you're just done. You get tired and you're not going to finish. Well, I have two pieces left to do here. I have the one that's on the end of the back piece, and then I have the one that's on the end of this wall that comes in to there. So I have those two pieces in the corner to do. That's what I'm going to work on. And then this particular section of what we're remodeling will be done in the bathroom. We've also had a chance, because we put this up, it was last weekend, put the other part up to see how the original pieces do, like when somebody takes a shower, all that kind of stuff. So we had a chance to take a look at that. So I'm going to start measuring, start going at it with these. Piece went in nice. I don't know if you can see, but the corner piece here went in nice. The other piece, first piece, I cut a little bit short, and I thought they would come together better, but it didn't. So luckily I have one more piece. Let's see if we can get this right. So the nice part about these tiles is that they come in a block, like a square, right? But you can also break them into individual blocks when you have very specific cuts. So this last piece, I have to make very specific cuts to bring it together in the corner correctly. There's a little bit of alignment that's off, so some part of the wall at the top is longer and the bottom is shorter, so there's a little bit of a curve, I guess, if you think of it that way. But anyway, I can cut the individual blocks, and it makes it nice, tight, fits custom right to that particular corner. So I did the first one already, it's on the bottom. Now I'm putting this one in. This is the next piece. Yeah, that came out nice. Right in there. Alright. Right. Now I've got two more pieces to put in up here, and I'm going to cut each individual block as those go in. Yeah. Let's get in here to measure this. Let's says 7 7/8, but there's also another way to measure this, which I'll show you by using the tile itself. This is a nice way to do this, is to actually bring the individual piece that you want to put in there that you're cutting, put it into place, and then you can mark on the tile where it has to be cut. So I can make a mark here, and I can bring it up so it's aligned here, pop it right in there. Now when I go back to cut this, I just have to put these two edges together and it should be perfect. So neatly, and my piece, I should be able to make sure it fits first before I go putting it in there. And sure enough, it fits right in the block, just the way I want it to. So now we're ready to peel and stick. Like I said, that's one of the advantages of this particular type of tile itself, is that you can still work with the individual pieces, or you can end up laying the whole set, which is basically 16 pieces at a time. You go, well, no, 8 pieces at a time, I guess. So works out nice that way. Fairly easy, and this is pretty durable stuff. I mean, it's not like, you know, ceramic tile, but it's certainly very strong. Alright, that piece off here, right there, and make sure that it fits in nice and snug. That went in good. One last piece. Alright, we're ready to set the last piece. Just peel off this red layer here, which can be tricky at times. Sure, get that off. Alright. Sure I get it in the right way. Want to have the edges of the tile correct. Let's get that right up to the edge there. Edge, and we're in. That's it. Corner's done. And that's it. So now the corner's in there. Some very specific piece edging there, and then obviously we're going to do some trim as we look at where the tile hits the ceiling and some other things like that. So we'll have more to do here. Some of the things we'll look at is using caulking as well in some of this. So we still have decisions to make as we go forward. Anyway, thanks for watching. And as you can see, the cat wants some of the dip, probably. Chili cheese dip came out. Now we're gonna see what it tastes like. Bring it over here. So there's a couple of ways to do this, at least from my standpoint. I'm gonna get a spoon here. So I have something to kind of scoop it out with. Have a dish. The other thing you might want along the way is some wonderful sour cream. So sour cream is also good. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Let's just scoop it out and see what we end up with. You can see there's a lot of cheese there. It's very liquidy, so it's good for a dip that we're looking at. Take a little bit of sour cream with this as well. I'll just plop some of this so you can get a little bit more there. That right on there. There we go. Let's see how this goes. Now I picked the side that has the beans, so that's going to be a little bit more runny because the beans had liquid with it as well. Well, good though. Very good. So you can also, add black beans. Excuse me. That's good. So, like I said, you could add black beans. The other thing that we mentioned was corn chips. So, you happen to have corn chips. So I'm going to take a little bit of the non-bean side, see how that came together. That seemed a little bit less liquidy, a little bit less runny on that side. And again, like I said, there was some liquid with the beans, so that would affect the recipe as a whole. So you got to think about that. If you're adding black beans, make sure you drain the can. In my case, I had homemade beans, so I wasn't necessarily going to drain them because I like the liquid. I like the flavor of it. That's good. Well, I encourage you, look at different recipes, try things. It's fun to cook, even if you fail. But this, not a failure. Very good. We take a moment and give you a close-up. This is what it looks like in the pan. It comes together. You can see over here with the beans a little bit more liquid. Over here a little bit more drier. This is the way that you would expect it to look from the traditional recipe. Very tasty. Adding the beans, you can expect a little bit more, like I said. And then plating it and eating it. Good stuff.
That was all too fun for me to watch as well as edit. That dip really was good. I had some as well. And I'm also super excited to have any progress in the bathroom. So next we're going to go, well, actually, my husband said we should check the basement first and see if we have any trim that could work and if we have enough. We definitely want to do the corners where squares meet because it didn't meet up perfectly. So I think having a little molding there will just break up what you see in the eye enough that it won't be glaring. And then, of course, the trim on the top. So if we don't have anything in the house, then we'll have to take a trip to Lowe's, and I can take you with me if you want to go. I'm getting my laundry folded up, mostly because I dumped it all over my bed, and I would like to reclaim my bed. It always keeps me honest when I dump the laundry on the bed. So if this video has been an encouragement and motivation to you, I do hope that if you're not subscribed, you'll go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and then click the little bell, select all notifications so that YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And it also helps if you don't want to watch every single video of mine. It's a way to keep up with whatever I am posting so you can be sure to watch whatever you want. But I do hope you'll stick with me daily. I do myself enjoy having daily content creators that I watch. Then I can kind of plan a rest time, or I plan to be busy doing while they're doing. I also like to sometimes listen to videos when I'm driving. I'm not watching, but I'm kind of listening to it as a podcast. So I hope this is that kind of a channel for you that you can come back to. I definitely feel like we're friends. I feel like we know each other. And I love you all so much. And I hope that you do always remember that I love you and God loves you too. And I can't wait to see you next time, which I really hope is tomorrow.